Hello friends. In this session, I discuss on data integration and reduction techniques, which comes under the data preprocessing techniques. Data preprocessing is a frequently ignored but important steps in data mining process. The phase garbage in, garbage out is particularly applicable to data mining and machine learning. Data gathering methods are often loosely controlled, resulting in out of range values, impossible data combinations, missing values, etc. Analyzing data that has not been careful screen for such problems can produce misleading results. Therefore, the representation and quality of data is first and foremost before running an analysis. If there is much irrelevant and redundant information present or noisy and unreliable data, then knowledge discovery during the training phase is more difficult. Data preprocessing and filtering step can take considerable amount of processing time. Data preprocessing include cleaning, normalization, transformation, and further extractions and selection, etc. Then, product of data preprocessing is the final training set. Based on that, I start this session on data preprocessing. So, what is data preprocessing? Data preprocessing is a data mining technique that involves transforming raw data into an understandable format. Real world data is frequently incomplete, means lacking attributes values or certain attribute of interest or containing only aggregate data. Next is noisy, means containing error or outlier value that depart from the expected. And last one is inconsistent, means containing difference in the department code used to categorize items. Data preprocessing is a proven method of resolving such issues. Data preprocessing prepare raw data for further processing. Data preprocessing is used database driven applications such as customer relationship management and rule based applications. Based on that, I start our main topic of today's session, which is data integration. So, what is data integration? Data integration could be defined as the collection and combination of data from various resources to provide a unified structure or view of the combined data on which we can manipulate operations, perform analytics, and build statistics. As a wall strategy from the business processes perspective, integration is the initial step toward transforming data into more descriptive and critical data. There are mainly two types of data integration. First is enterprise data integration, means it can be defined as a properly defined set of terminological instructions that help us to manipulate data over two or more data sets. As the name itself suggests that it typically involves the gaining of data from various business systems and crunching them in a manner that can perform various management activities and business intelligence reports. Second is customer data integrations, means CDI. For a business organization to be successful, their main motive must be satisfying customers, understanding their needs and preferences. With the vast amount of data already available, it is quite obvious to assume that there is marginal difference in accessing and operating on the data at a much faster pace. So, CDI is nothing but the process of collecting and manipulating of the customer data among numerous multiple sources and framing data in a unified way so that it would be easy to share among every member of the business organization that deal with customer predictive insights, improve customer service, loyal customer are some of the benefits to name under CDI. Now, I explain need for data integration. With the increasing volume of data collected through a variety of sources and at a much faster velocity every day, it is very much clear that data is and has been the most valuable control. The businesses are very much keen on implementing various strategies on utilizing the data to complete application as possible. Still, the real question is how efficiently that data done. So that's understand what is mean. The problem with such huge quantity of data is also quite extensive. According to a survey conducted online by Experience and others, nearly 60% of companies today lack a properly functioning business strategy, which ends up in resulting tragic effects. So, data integration tends to solve this issue quite effectively by doing a real time view and analysis of data, thus collected from various targets, like help in reduce complexity and data. Next one is increase the value of data crunch through unified systems. Next one is centralize the data, means making it more valuable and easy to use. Next one is collaboration are made easier among various business systems. Next one is smarter business decisions are taken due to further predictions. Next one is improve the communications between different departments under the hoods. Next one is secure your data. Live by keeping information timely up to date. And last one is better customer experience. Now I explain tools for data integration. No doubt the demand for data integration arises from complex data center environments where various multiple systems are creating large volume of data. This data must be understood in accumulation rather than in isolation. Data integration is nothing more than a technique and technology for providing a unified and consistent view of enterprise-wide data. There are numerous tools available in the market that would help us query out the data effectively since our data is not going to integrate it itself. To name a few, we have some open source data integration tools, cloud based data integration tools, and also the on premise data integration tool. Again, the question is that how to and which one to choose among those various tools available in the market depends on the requirements, platforms, types of data that particular business organizations are likely to use. So, for that, here I explain specific feature of data integration tools. like connectors, means the more the connectors, the more your team will save. Next one is open source, means open source contains tends to provide more flexibility. Next one is portability, means build one and run multiple times at distributed environments. Next one is easy to use, means tools you make to integrate should be interactive and easy to use with better visualization. Next one is cloud compatibility, means integrated data should be open to working natively in multiple cloud environments. Now, I explain data integration architecture. Most of the people, the ones from the industry background, believe that there is no architecture for data integration, and that is the reason why most of them term data integration architecture as like some Fustin inflation. The biggest reason why data integration needs architecture is complexity. Since there are a wide variety of data being collected from multiple business sources, in which again are different data models present, where it gets crunched into numerous small pieces that are yet equally distinct, which doesn't flow in any particular manners. So chance are it needs proper strategies areas. So if we have to sum it up in a short and precise way, it is a lot of complex and diverse tasks to operate into a data integration bin. Hub and spokes is the most preferred architecture style for most all the integration solution. In this architecture, inter-server communication and platforms, data manipulation, which are passed through a central hub, where another integration server manages the same tasks for transmission or transformation. Since these are built under the provides tools, the server use is the provider's integration server. Now, I explain challenges to data integration. First one is working with timely data, means integration real-time data without lagging behind the systems. Next one is remove all data silos, means extracting from and delivering to a wide variety of systems. Next one is build a smart architectures, means processing and enhancing the streaming data to the enterprise platform. Next one is data security issues. Lack of data security is one of the critical priorities of an integration solution, making sure it is secure and confidential. Next one is how to get to the finish lines, means using specific integration tools and principle of architecturing the data to accomplish desired targets at a constant pace, limit within a week or day. Keeping up with the industry trends is one common challenge for every emerging and establishing business organization to match the targets needs to win. Next one is data from newer business demands. Means the integrated data should be readily adaptable to the latest technology of industry such as IoT, ML means machine learning, cloud to excel in the market. So big data using the collected data to its maximum bounds, which is highly complex and massive quantity more the data. Now I explained data integration in data mining. Data mining is that process where we operate on the existing data from the database and trying to bring out all the necessary information from that raw data. Data integration is the preprocessor to fetch data from multiple distributed sources. Then these are stored in a structured manner in the database, and using that database, valuable information is coupled. There are two approaches for data integrations. First one is tight coupling and next one is lossy coupling. Now I explain tight coupling. Means in this, the data warehouse is assumed as an interface that retrieves information using the ETL. ETL means extract, transform, and load operations from multiple targets into a single centralized locations. Next one is lossy coupling. Means an predefined interface is provided that manipulates and transforms query in a manner that the root storage can understand and is made sure that no temporary storage is done. Everything X is the source database only. Now, I explain data integration in data warehousing. Data integration is one of the significant aspects of data warehousing. At the highest level, if we talk about data warehousing, it is nothing but the innovations, manipulations, and mapping practices to match the correct set of requested data with the data to be forwarded as the response to the end user. ETL means extract, transform, and load is one of the significant components of data integration in data warehousing. The most well-known implementation of data warehousing is building a data warehouse for the enterprise side. As we understand that data warehouse is all about internal operations, but the constraints is that all the integration operations and management are done exactly to the organizations. So to bring them as a collective unit without any redundancy, we can use data integrations as a local, as a view approach, where each table in the database is used as a source, which is defined globally to a corporate view. Now, I explained data integration in business intelligence. Business intelligence is the set of operations done to bring out useful information from the raw data available and use it taken better business decisions, predictive analysis tools for identifying data clusters, managing business processes, and also the development of better communication to collaborate effectively and support decision making pointers for better outcomes. First, the data is collected and integrated with the data warehouse where it goes under various manipulations. Then the useful data that is obtained is held under multiple business intelligence tools to support analysis of the data and is stored at a specific locations. BI tools are often considered as decision support systems tools as they allow the business members to make effective use of it to analyze and extract useful informations. Sometimes it gets complicated as one really would feel that everything is the same and there's no key difference among the impact of data integration in mining, warehouse, and business intelligence. The critical link among these is that for everything to work out efficiently, the top priority is the integration of data. Now, I explained data integration techniques. There are several organization levels on which data integration can be performed. As we go down, the level of automated integration increases. Here, I explain different techniques which is used in data integration. First is manual integration or common user interface, means users operates with all the relevant information, accessing all the source system or web page interface. New unified view of the data exists. Next one is application based integrations, means require the particular application to implement all the integration effects. This approach is manageable only in case of very limited number of applications. Next one is middleware data integration, means transfer the integration logic from particular application to a new middleware layer. Although the integration logic is not implemented in the application anymore, there is still a need for application to particularly participate in the data integration. Next one is uniform data access or virtual integrations, means leaves data in the source system and define a set of views to provide and access the unified view to the customer across world enterprise. Next one is common data storage for physical data integration, means usually creating a new system which keeps a copy of the data from the source system to store and manage it independently of the original system. The most well-known example of this approach is called data warehouse. The benefits compares data various managements, combining data from very different sources like mainframes, database, flat file, etc. The physical integrations, however, require a separate system to handle the vast volume of data. Now, I explain benefits of data integrations. The whole data management system is surrounded by a center called data integration, which essential to carry out any expected result. If any system goes through the discussed methodologies, they are expected to taste numerous fruitful benefits of data integrations. So, first benefit is better collaboration and deployment. Next one is availability of real-time integrated data. Next one is data from multiple distributed source. Next one is data integrations helps in achieving better partnerships and customer relationships. Next one is save times, boost efficiency, and reduce errors. Next one is making excellent business decisions. Next one is adaptability, reliability, and reusability can also be considered as one of the benefits. Now, I discuss conclusion for that. Everything in an organization, from business processes to analytics, warehouse, and anything that is either where directly or indirectly depends on data is nothing without data integrations. So, the business organization and its member should have full knowledge and access to every data sets from every source to grow as a collective units. So I hope you can understand data integration process. Now I explain data reduction. Data reduction techniques can be applied to combine a reduced representation of the data set that is much smaller in volume, yet closely maintaining the integrity of the original data. Now, I explain methods of data integrations. First method is data cube aggregation. This technique is used to aggregate data in a simpler form. For example, imagine that information you gather from your analysis for the years 2018 to 2020. That data include the revenue of your company every 3 months. They involve you in annual sales rather than the quarterly average. So you can summarize the data in a such way that the resulting data summarize the total sales per year instead of per quarters, or we can say it summarize the data. Now next method is dimensions reductions. Whenever we come across any data which is weakly important, then we use attributes requirement for our analysis. It reduces data size as it eliminates outdated or redundant features. That includes different techniques like first one is stepwise forwarded selections, means the selection begins with an empty set of attributes. Later on, we decide best of the original attributes on the set based on their relevance to other attributes. We know it is a p-value in statistics. Suppose there are the following attributes in the data set in which few attributes are redundant. The initial attribute sets like we have set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 value. Based on that, initial reduced attribute set is empty. Now we have find out based of the original attributes on the sets. So in the first set we have find out the best attributes among the data. So we have select attributes 1. Now based on that attributes we have find out their relevance to other attributes. So in step 2, we have find out attribute number 2, which is relevant to attribute number 1. We have continued this process in third steps. So we have find out attribute number 5, which is relevant to attributes number 1 and 2. So final reduced attribute set is 1, 2 and 5, which is relevant to every attributes. Now, next technique is stepwise backward selections. This selection starts with a set of complex attributes in the original data, and at each point it eliminates the worst remaining attributes in the sets. Suppose there are the following attributes in the data set in which few attributes are redundant. Like attributes initial set is sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, initial reduced attribute set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, we have eliminates the worst remaining attributes in the sets. So, in first steps, we have remove that attributes. So, in first step, we have required only sets of data like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, in step 2, we can again repeat these steps which we have performed in step number 1, like eliminates the worst remaining attributes in the sets. So, in step 2, we have required that data like 1, 2, 3, and 5. We have continued this process in step 3. So, we have required data like 1, 2, and 5. So, final reduced attribute set is 1, 2, and 5. Now, next technique is combination of forwarding and backward selections. Means it allows to use remove the worst and select best attributes, saving times and making the process faster. Now, next methods is data compression. Means the data compression techniques reduce the size of files using different encoding mechanisms like Hoffman encoding and run length encoding. We can divide it into two types based on their compression techniques. Like first one is lossless compression, means encoding techniques like run length encodings allow a simple and minimal data size reductions. Lossless data compression using algorithm to restore the exact original data from the compressed data. Next technique is lossy compression, means method such as discrete wavelength transformation techniques and PCA, means principal component analysis, are example of this comparison. For that, JPG image format is a lossy compressions, but we can find the meaning equivalent to the original the image. In lossy data compression, the compressed data may differ the original data, but are useful enough to retrieve information from them. Now, next method is numericity reductions. In these reduction techniques, the actual data is replaced with mathematical model or smaller representation of the data instead of actual data. It is important to only store the model parameters or non-parametrics methods such as clustering, histogram, and sampling. Data reduction process reduce the size of data and make it suitable and feasible for analysis. In the reduction process, integrity of data must be preserved and data volume is reduced. There are many techniques that can be used for data reductions. Numericity reduction is one of them. Numericity reduction is a data reduction techniques which replace the original data by smaller from data representations. There are two techniques for numericity reductions like parametrics and non-parametrics methods. Now I explain parametrics methods. For parametrics methods, data is represented using some model. This model is used to estimate the data. So That's only parameters of data are required to be stored instead of actual data. That methods like regression and log linear method are used for certain such models. Now I explain regressions. Regression can be a simple linear regression or multiple linear regression when there is only single independent attributes. Such a regression model is called simple linear regression, and if there are multiple independent attributes, then such a regression model are called multi-layer or multiple linear regression. In linear regression, the data are modeled to a fit straight line. For example, a random variable y can be modeled as a linear function of another random variable x with the equation like y is equal to mx plus b, where m and b regression coefficients specify the slope and y intercept of the line respectively. Now I explain log linear model. Log linear model can be used to estimate the probability of each data points in a multidimensional space for a set of discretized attributes based on a smaller subset of dimensional combinations. This allows a higher dimensional data space to be constructed from lower dimensional attributes. Regression and log linear model can be both used on sparse data, although their application may be limited. Now I explain non-parametric methods. These methods are used for storing reduced representation of the data that includes histograms, clusterings, sampling, and data cube aggregations. Now I explain what is histograms. Histogram is the data representation in terms of frequencies. It uses binning to approximate data distribution and is a popular form of data reduction. Now next one is clustering. Means clustering divides the data into groups or clusters. This technique partitions the whole data into a different clusters. In data reduction, the cluster representation of data are used to replace the actual data. It's also help to detect outlier in data. Next one is sampling. Means sampling can be used for data reduction because it allows a large data set to be represented by a much smaller random data sample, or we can say subsets. Next one is data cube aggregations. Means data cube aggregations involves moving the data from detail level to a fewer number of dimensions. The resulting data set is smaller in volume without loss of information necessary for the analysis task. Now, we have discussed next method is discretizations and concept hierarchy operations. Techniques of data discretization are used to divide the attributes of continuous nature into data with intervals. We replace many constants value of the attributes by label of smaller intervals. This means that meaning results are shown in a short and easily understandable that includes different methods. So first method is top-down discretizations. Means if you First, consider one or a couple of points, or we can call it breakpoints or split points, to divide the whole set of attributes and repeat of this method up to the end. Then the process is known as top-down discretization, also known as splitting. Now next method is bottom-up discretizations. Means if you first consider all the constants value as split points, so are discreted through a combination of the neighborhood value in the interval. That process is called bottom-up discretizations. Now I explain concepts of hierarchies. Means it reduces the data size by collecting and then replacing the level, means low level concepts such as the number of age, like an example, that high level concepts. So we can categorize age variables such as middle age or seniors. For numeric data, follow techniques can be described like that. Means we have used different techniques in concepts hierarchy. So first technique is binning. Means binning is the process of changing numerical variable into a categorical counterparts. The number of categorical counterparts depends on the number of bins specified by the users. Next one is histogram analysis. Means like the process of binning, the histogram is used to partition the value of the attributes x into disjoint range called brackets. These are several partitioning rules. Like that includes first rules is equal frequency partitioning. Means partitioning the value based on the number of occurrence in the data sets. Second rule is equal width partitioning. Means partitioning the rule in fixed gap based on the number of bins, like set of value ranging from 0 to 10. And next technique is, or next rule is clustering. Means grouping the similar data together. So I hope you can understand all the data reduction techniques. So thank you friends watching this video. I hope you can understand all the methods of data integration and reduction. Thank you.